Do you ever experience fear of missing out? If the answer is yes, then you're being truthfully honest, because the majority of the 8 billion people on this planet experience that at some time or another. In this video, I'm going to share a little bit about the mindset behind of the fear of missing out, and also some practical tips to enable you to take control and action in order to stop judging and criticizing yourself, and instead empower and enable yourself to take the necessary action. If this is a topic that is sparking your curiosity and interest, please stick around. For anyone new to this channel, hello, I am Tanya. I am a rapid transformational therapist and coach, and I empower women over the age of 40 to truly authentically love themselves and show up as their best version in order for them to thrive in whichever phase of life they may find themselves. So, what is fear of missing out? It usually stems with comparison, and this is where you may compare yourself to people that you work with, people that you live nearby with, or people even within your kind of close circle of friends. Or where it can actually be quite destructive is that you're comparing yourself to people that you don't know, and you're scrolling through social media, watching something on TV or on whatever platform you may be consuming information, and you're making judgments, and then you're comparing yourself against perceptions and curated views, and then you start maybe self-criticizing and judging yourself. Now, it's human nature. We want to survive, and in order for us to survive, we want to belong. We want to be liked. We want to be loved. And in order for us to gain all of that, we tend to compare ourselves to people around us. But the reality is, we don't have all the facts, so therefore we're not comparing like with like. We don't know people's backstories. We don't know where they've come from. We don't know what they've actually had to endure on a day-to-day basis. We don't know what their inner mindset dialogue is. And for some people, it tends to be negative. Even if we're a positive influence externally, there will be times where our thoughts, our feelings are critical towards ourselves. We've all got that inner critic, whether we're fully aware of it or whether we're on autopilot and we just keep doing things and then wonder why we're experiencing what we're experiencing. So, comparison is one of the kind of keys. The second bit is that inner critic voice, and that is our safety mechanism. If we want to belong and we want to be safe and comfortable within our comfort zone, we need to conform with the rules and the etiquette of our community, our society, where we live, where we work. So we need to be rule-abiding people. And in doing so, we tend to judge ourselves in terms of, are we following the rules? Are we feeling triggered for following the rules? And I'm using that word triggered, and this is where you tend to have a feeling, and that feeling is always related to a thought. And in this channel, I've mentioned on several occasions the ladder of looping thoughts, and repetition is absolutely key. So this is where you have a thought that then triggers a feeling, that then triggers an action, or in some cases an inaction, and then it reinforces either the original thought that you had, or it creates an even more powerful thought. And this is where these ladders can actually be downwards, which are negative, or they can be upwards. And what we want ideally to do is become aware when they are downwards. We can actually challenge by becoming aware of what the thought was, accepting it, articulating it, and then challenging it, but making that association that that thought is that's triggering the feeling. It's causing us to feel a certain way. And our body is a chemical kind of chemistry lab. There's always information coming in, or even information from inside our body, is creating various chemical reactions and producing various hormones. Some instances, the hormones are the stressor hormones to actually keep us safe, so we go into fight or flight. And in other situations, it's about us creating pleasure, where we're getting the endorphins and we're getting the dopamine, we're getting all the different hormones that are going to make us feel happy, connected, and wanting to seek more of it. But our behaviors are what we actually then do as a result of our thoughts and our feelings. So if we're trying to compare ourselves, and if our kind of the people that we're comparing ourselves with have got a lot of money, go on holidays, have got the perfect looking body that we aspire to have, and we look then at our life and it's like, okay, I'm not going on holidays, I'm struggling to make ends meet. I don't have the fantastic body that I want to have. I don't even have the energy levels that I want to have. So rather than focusing on everyone else, turn that lens and look inwards. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's already uncomfortable when you're comparing to other people, and where you are and they are is such a massive gap. You've got no idea how they actually got from where you were, from where you are to where they are. Instead, rather than sort of focusing on their journey, focus on your journey. What do you need to do to acquire the things that they've got that you aspire to have? And maybe question yourself, is that really going to give you happiness? Is it going to give you joy and fulfillment? Because in most instances, it's the journey that you take from where you are to where you want to go. That is where the fulfillment, the joy, the contentment comes from. It's not actually the attainment of the money, the holidays. It's the experience, it's the feelings that you will have by having the money and by being able to go on holidays and experience all that kind of joy that you may be seeking. So the third thing, as I mentioned, is the ladder of looping thoughts. So it's becoming aware of what those thoughts are. And this is where you can stay where you are and you can continue comparing yourselves to others, judging yourself harshly, and then taking no action, or taking action that's actually keeping you stuck or pushing you even backwards. That if you want to have a slender, fit body and you're feeling deflated, that your weight isn't shifting in the direction that you want it to do, are you eating the right things? Are you taking into account the stress that your body may be under? Because people underestimate that hydration and stress are two factors that can have a massive impact on weight gain and potential weight reduction. So there's things that you need to look at as the whole picture. So rather than you actually judging yourself harshly, what I want you to do is practical tip number one is focusing on you rather than others. That's kind of vital. You need to look at where you are, what do you truly want, why do you really want what you want, and then come up with a plan of action and make it small, make it achievable. Link it to other activities that you're doing. If you want the fit and healthy body, start walking a little bit more. Do a few extra steps. Start with like maybe 500 steps extra a day and start building it up until you get to something that resembles what you would actually associate with a fit and healthy body. Start tagging in activities that you can. Park a bus stop away or a train stop away from where you need to get on or get off, and do that a little bit extra walking. Or even when you go to the kind of food store, actually park the car in the furthest along bay. But you need to factor in, like if you're running out of time, you need to factor in that you need to be there 5 minutes earlier or 10 minutes earlier to be able to incorporate the walk. All of it requires planning and coming up with a strategy that's going to enable you to achieve the goals that you're desiring to achieve. Then the second one is about being kind. You need to have a plan, but you need to keep yourself accountable, but you need to stop that negative narrative. So rather than you constantly berating yourself, oh, I didn't do what I needed to do, maybe challenge that and say, maybe what I was actually expecting myself to do was too big a task. When you're running out of time, or when it feels that you're running out of time, are you going to find 10 minutes to do the extra walk? No, you'll find reasons, you'll find excuses, you'll find 101 reasons why you're never going to do it, but then you will judge yourself. So this is about coming up with the coping strategies, focusing on you, the plan of action that you're going to put in place. Make it small and sustainable and incremental, that you can actually start tracking the progress that you're making, and then start celebrating the little victories, because it's the consistently showing up for yourself is going to get you to where you want and aspire to go. And I've put it as the third tip, but really it's the fundamental tip. It's about being absolutely crystal clear. What do you really want? Why do you want it? Do you want it just because everyone else wants it, or everyone else appears to have it? Or is it something that you genuinely want? I think the biggest kind of disservice that you do to yourself is that you strive to achieve accomplishments and goals to meet society's expectations and other people's expectations for you, but you fall short for what's really going to bring you joy, fulfillment and contentment in your life. Do you want to be taking your final breath and regretting all the choices and all the decisions that you've made in your life because you've lived a life for other people rather than living a life that's bringing you joy and contentment, but you can impact and influence and help other people in the process? So if this has been content that has resonated, if you feel triggered, let me know in the comments below. If there's things that you've actually put in place that I've not mentioned, please let me know as well. And remember, go out and seize the day. Have the most amazing day. Figure out what you truly want. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Be kind to yourself. And if this content is of value, please like and subscribe if you're not already doing so. And if you want to share it with someone else in your life, please share. And I want you to choose wisely. We've all got choices in life. You can choose to keep comparing yourself and keeping yourself stuck in that negative loop, or you can choose to look inwards, figure out what you want, come up with a plan of action and start taking the steps necessary to achieve your plan, to achieve your goal, and celebrate along the way, because there's going to be victories, but you need to be aware of them. So until the next one, bye.